A big hello and a very warm welcome to a special episode of Brand Equity with me, Sonali Krishna. We're calling today's show Understanding Millennials and Centennials. But before we get down to business, let's first establish what these two terms mean. Let's start with the millennials. Millennials, a person reaching young adulthood around the year 2000, which really means the generation born post 1982. Let's move on to the centennials. Centennials, on the other hand, are those who are born between 1997 and the present, which essentially means everyone between the age of 0 to 18. And now that we've established what these two terms mean, let me tell you that both the millennials and the centennials are perplexing generations and are every marketer's nightmare. Despite copious amounts of studies and really data points being looked at day after day, year after year, to really understand how these generations behave, they're a very hard bunch to crack. So to put it simply, data gathering techniques, however sophisticated, simply doesn't tell you the full story. Which is why today I've invited representatives from both these generations to shed light on the way they think, behave, consume and comprehend. So with that, on my right, let me introduce the two millennials who are joining me. I have Nitish, who's 24. 25, pardon me. And I have Aditi, who is 21, right? And on my left, I have the centennials, Danielle, who is 18, and Ida, who is 15. Thank you so much for joining us on Brand Equity today. So let me start with the millennials and then move on to the centennials. Give me a sense of what your average day looks like in terms of consumption, whether I mean consumption of news, entertainment or anything, basically just content.
A regular day at work, say when I get to work, I open my laptop, I first open Facebook, and then I open my sports website, I open football365.com, then I open my cricket website, and then I open Times of India.
Okay, so the newspaper doesn't fit into your life at all?
Not anymore.
Let me come to you and take me through your content consumption on an average day.
On a regular day. I get all my information on Twitter. So when Nitish was speaking, he said that, so he opens up all these websites. So what I do is I just follow all of them on Twitter. So I wake up to I know what the news is in the morning. So as soon as I wake up, I get my news. And I get my, and most of it is through Twitter. And I feel like that's just one platform where I consume everything. And also, like he was talking about how he used to use newspaper. He used to read the newspaper back home. So that was actually something that I tried to get into growing up because my parents really wanted me to read the paper and it just never appealed to me.
Sure.
But once I started using the internet and then I got on Twitter and I had this one platform, it was so easy. Because Twitter gives me that information in 140 characters. If I'm using now this app, it gives me the information in, their videos are not more than 20 seconds. So all my consumption of the news, absolutely everything, because I don't even have a TV at home, is online.
So tell me, Aditi, basically what you're saying is what you appreciate about consuming news the way you do is the fact that you appreciate its brevity.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And how it's all just in one space. Whereas like a newspaper, if I had to compare it to a newspaper, which is 15, 16 pages with certain sections, I can do that on my laptop. If I'm using TweetDeck, I can put my columns in and divide it into international news, national news, entertainment, and then I have it right there.
Right.
So I can look at that at 10 seconds and at least have a superficial knowledge of what's breaking.
So Facebook is not on your radar?
No, not in terms of my consumption of info. So I'm actually off Facebook right now for a while because I realized I was spending a lot of pointless time on it.
Let me move to you folks. Thank you for being patient. Let me start with you, Ida. The 15-year-old here.
The first thing I do is look at all the notifications from WhatsApp and Instagram and stuff like that, and I reply to some. But then if I have to get news, so my parents have subscribed to the newspaper, so that's what I look at. But not because I like the newspaper; it's just easy for me because it's right there, and I can read off it.
So basically when you wake up, can I assume that you first look at Facebook? What are the apps? I don't know.
Well, Instagram and Snapchat and WhatsApp are my 3 main apps. And then I have this other app called Ask FM.
Ask FM?
Yeah, people haven't really heard of it. But it's basically the site where so one person can anonymously ask another person a question. And you can choose to answer it or not, but a lot of people, especially Bombay, have accounts on it, and like my age group have accounts on it. And
Your friends are really hooked onto this?
yeah.
Why is that?
Because you get to ask people questions that you can't ask on like face to face.
Okay, so what you're saying, so basically Facebook is not on your radar at all?
It is, but I hardly go on it, especially because like all my family members are friends with me, and it's just like they keep posting stuff, and I'm not that interested.
So you
in
would
looking
not
at
be,
their-
you don't use Facebook anymore because it's become a family community.
Yeah, I still go on it because like there's stuff like BuzzFeed and everything which I want to look at, but not for the other.
And
things.
Twitter?
Twitter is okay, but I just feel that there, like I follow a lot of people, so if I go on it, then there is a lot of unwanted information for me.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So basically, let's say that, you know, what we think that this generation is obsessed with Facebook and Twitter doesn't really hold
Yeah.
true for at least your age bracket.
Yeah, because new things are coming.
Okay,
up.
so apart from this What's FM, which is very enlightening, what are the other apps that you seem to be hooked onto?
Snapchat,
Okay.
because they are coming up with like new things. Like they have this feature where your face can transform into something else, and
Okay.
that's quite cool.
Okay.
And it also has these things where you can see news, but in a better way.
Okay. Danielle?
I'm not on Twitter. I don't
It
know.
doesn't interest you?
It doesn't interest me.
Okay.
It's never appealed to me really to, yeah, it's just never appealed to me.
Fair enough.
I have really stopped using Facebook recently. It just, like I said, it's lost its relevance to me because I get the same sort of things from Instagram and Snapchat and WhatsApp, because I'm keeping in touch with the people I want to keep in touch with through WhatsApp because it's so convenient and so easy. And so in that respect, I think I haven't really used Facebook, because Facebook, you really use it to find out, to talk to people and to look at their pictures and stalk them. And
At least she's honest.
yeah, and Instagram has made that super convenient.
Is Snapchat really in vogue because of the fact that you can send pictures which disappear? Is that the key reason you're on Snapchat? Or is it that text that you're sending which you don't want anybody else to see, or want to leave proof that also disappears? Is that the key reason for you to be chatting on Snapchat, let's say, vis-a-vis WhatsApp? Let's go with you guys.
I
first.
think, at least from my opinion, the main reason why Snapchat is such a big thing is not because of how you communicate, but so everybody puts up updates. So they put up videos of themselves or pictures of themselves of what they're doing in the day, and it comes in your feed. And basically you see like a slideshow of a sort of their day or their week or whenever they put it up. So, and that lasts for 24 hours. So it's the story. So, I think that is a very popular feature of Snapchat.
Okay. You want to add something
Yeah,
to that?
I agree with what she said. Also that it's everything's happening in lifetime, right? So like she said, you click a picture right now, and so someone can see what you're doing at the moment. And also, for example, if you're following a famous person like a celebrity, it's almost like you have this personal connection with them. Like for example, Ryan Seacrest's Snapchat. So he's giving you all these behind the scenes of what's happening on his show when he's like putting up these pictures with the celebrities, and so it just makes you feel like you get an insight into what that life
Behind
is
the
like.
scenes, yeah, got it. So do you guys consume TVs? Let's start with you. Do you consume television at all in the traditional form?
So when I used to watch TV, I used to watch all the TV shows on TV, but now I just watch it online, or like I download it, or I buy it off, like I have Netflix.
What about you?
So I think I used to not watch a lot of TV. So I used to consume a lot of online, movies and TV shows and stuff like that. But recently I've started watching a lot of TV again, like a lot of TV.
Why?
I think partly because I have really crappy internet service. So it takes me like a year.
Okay, fair enough.
So it takes very long to
Buffer.
and plus because quite honestly, recently over the past 2 months, I think all the internet websites have started being bombarded by ads. like bombarded to the extent is that I would click on a website, any website, and instead of opening the website, it will open an advertisement.
Sure.
And then I have to go back, and sometimes you go back too many, it's a mess. It's a mess.
And then like 100 tabs open up and you
Yeah,
have to cancel.
So none
them.
of those people who are spending money there to bombard their ads are getting their money's worth.
It
In
just
fact,
makes
if I
you,
see some product there, I'll not buy it.
you get
because, like,
frustrated. You get
I hope
irritated.
marketers are listening. Say that again loudly.
if there are any tabs that open and I see a product there, I will not buy it.
I want to know your TV consuming habit, if you consume it at all.
I hardly consume TV because I don't have it
For
at home.
entertainment, you're online?
I'm online, but then again, I don't watch too many movies online. I'm usually like streaming something on YouTube. So I'm not I don't particularly follow serials either.
Okay.
But my TV consumption is very little. It's what happens like if I'm on vacation and the hotel room has a TV, then I watch it.
What about you?
My consumption of TV, quite contrary to what she said, is somewhat restricted to, say, a regional program, which is somewhat hard to find online. I don't want to go through the hassle. And for me personally, the biggest appeal for television is sports.
Okay.
It's somehow very different. And online, when I'm watching football, which is what I usually watch on television, I don't want any interruptions. And TV, at least, the chances of your internet buffering juxtaposed with the chances of power going are very less, right? You'd rather watch TV and watch the full game without any interruptions and stuff.
Got it.
So that is my appeal to TV. Otherwise, TV shows, news, everything else that I can consume online, I'd rather do it online.
Now, I want to tell you that, we've been speaking to a lot of marketers, and they were really excited, and some of them wanted to ask you a question. So I'm going to, before I, get into some more details about how your lifestyles are, I'm going to get the first marketer to ask you the question. And the first question is from Anisha Motwani.
Thank you, Sonali. My question to this young generation is that relationships are really changing as I observe all around me. So I want to know what kind of relationships you enjoy with your parents, with your boyfriend or girlfriend, as the case may be, and with your siblings.
Let me start with you.
Probably describe my relationship with my parents as somewhat a fine line between casual and friendly. There are some things that I'd rather not discuss with my parents as much as I'd like to, and I would like to have their opinions, except I think that they'd be disappointed in me or something like that. So it's not that open.
And how would you define your relationship with your siblings?
I have a fantastic relationship with my brother. I have one elder brother, and it's extremely friendly. I'm very open about everything I do.
You're honest, upfront,
yeah, extremely upfront.
I share a good relationship with my parents. Mostly honest, mostly, but of course not honest about some things. Very close to my sibling. She would have a good idea of what my life is like. And
Mostly honest or very honest?
yeah, she knows everything.
Very honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
The good and the bad and the wild.
yeah, everything.
Okay, cool.
And with my boyfriend or girlfriend, it would be again, it's a casual, good, healthy, happy, open, very open relationship. And
What is the emotion you would describe?
love? It's
Love.
love.
Would you say the same? Love?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. It's quite interesting. So let me start with you.
Recently, I've been getting very close to my parents over the past maybe half a year or a year, like really, really close. Before that, I don't know. Before that, I was in the space where they couldn't understand where I'm coming from.
And now they do.
And now they do. With respect to my sister, there's 100% transparency. And with respect to, I do have a boyfriend, and we are very, very close. And again, 100% transparency there. Like literally 100%.
And it is and the relationship you would describe as intense.
Yeah, I would say intense. Okay.
Okay. Fine. Ida?
So with my parents, I live with them, and I think they know everything they should know about me.
I love that answer.
Like, I'm quite honest with them.
So what are you saying? That how would you describe? It's friendly,
Friendly, very friendly.
right? And it's not. So none of you all have used the word, at least with your relationship or the emotion you described your parents was something as formal and respect, which let's say a generation, 2 generations above you would have done.
Even
right?
one.
Yeah, even one, yeah. So, you know, so none of you all have that emotion going in your heads, right? It's more friendly and casual.
And nice.
What about boyfriend, girlfriend?
I don't have or haven't had.
But give me a sense of your peer group. Somebody must have.
It's very casual.
So like when I was that age, if you look back now, you wouldn't even call it dating. The way you behave and the way you perceive the relationship is very different. You perceive it as, you know, something very casual, something you know is like going to not last for.
Yeah,
Is that true?
It's more like, it's more like, you know, when two people date, it's more those two people have drama between each other, but it's most like in my age group, it's more like the whole group, like the girls' friends and the guys' friends, or like
they're all involved in that love
yeah,
affair.
they're all involved, and because of social media, everyone gets to know everything in like a second, and fights start.
So it's community dating.
Yeah, it's basically
Nice.
that.
So, Anisha, I hope that was insightful enough and answered some of your questions there. Let me get the second marketer on, who is really Lloyd Matthias from HP. And Lloyd, let's have your question.
Thank you, Sonali. Would you rather be CEO of a 1,000 crore company or founder of a 1 crore startup?
I'd rather be a CEO of a 1,000 crore company.
Why?
I feel that it requires an enormous amount of dedication, and I feel that it's not for me.
Fair enough. What about you?
I'd rather be a founder of a 1 crore company.
Yeah, why is
Because
that?
I feel that that would be something that I created, that I put a lot of effort into, and I would just be I would find that a lot more satisfying than being a CEO of somebody else's company, because then I'm helping somebody else's dream. But if it was...
And that matters to you,
Yeah,
that you want to
like
create and leave
my
a
own
legacy
thing.
of your own?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I think I would rather be the CEO of a 100 crore company. 100,000?
1,000.
Wow, 1,000. Yeah, definitely. No brainer. At least in my opinion, because the generation before me has had like a burst of startups that it's kind of clogged the system. So there's no space for too much more.
Sure.
At
Okay.
least that's what I think.
Very well said.
I would be a founder of a 1 crore company.
Really?
Yeah, because I think I'm very creative, and I would rather like start something up and use my own brain and do something that I like more than like follow someone else.
So just before I get to the next marketer, let me ask you a question. How, you know, for marketers, their entire world is about how they can involve you and engage you with their brand. My question to you is, how important are brands to you?
What I find very engaging is, so on Instagram you get these sponsored ads or sponsored videos that come up on your feed.
Yeah.
And especially, so I follow a lot of makeup and a lot of fashion. So they'll put out outfits and they'll put out, you know, models wearing those outfits or just those outfits laid on a white board or a bed, and it's beautiful. And with makeup,
Go ahead.
with makeup, I love, so it would like Mac on YouTube has this video by Mickey something.
Mehta.
Where no, I think something with K, I don't know.
Okay.
Basically this stylist so their ad comprises of him doing a smoky eye tutorial.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is brilliant, because you watch it because you want to know how to do a smoky eye. And a lot of people log on to YouTube to look up to watch makeup tutorials. Like I do that for fun.
And I must say, you've done an awesome job with your own makeup today.
Thank you.
But let's move on to you guys. Are you following any brands on Facebook, on Twitter? Are you interested in what they have to say to you?
No.
Zero. Since all of you all initially told me that you all have a point of view and love ads, tell me today, how would you like them to approach you?
So I don't like consuming advertisements when I'm online, so stay away. But I like watching them when I'm on TV and when they're up on billboards, because I'm always stuck in traffic and I'm always looking around. So if it's there, those things catch my attention.
In terms of advertisements, like I said, I don't like being bombarded by ads. So a lot of times on the internet, if you don't have like ad block or something, the moment you click on something, you have like 10 ads that pop up.
Sure.
And it's too much. If you had maybe one ad, you would understand. Like at the end of the day, you know that you're viewing and accessing this content for free, so somebody has to pay for it.
Fair enough.
So I mean,
We're glad you have that kind of maturity. Go on.
much rather have the advertisement company pay for it than me.
Anyway, so let's go on to the next question, and that's from Abhishek Ganguly of Puma. Abhishek, go for it.
Thank you, Sonali. My question would be to the millennials. What would make you pay premium for a product?
You know, I'd pay a premium price for a particular brand that, you know, I've been comfortable wearing, and something that is something that has been...
Can I say is also widely recognized?
Widely recognized would be a very apt way to put
widely
it.
recognized as a good brand?
Yes, that would be a good way to encapsulate what I'm thinking.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, it would be the brand. Like, for example, I wouldn't mind paying so much for an Apple product because, one, I've had good experience with it in the past, and because a lot of people would endorse it.
And it has cool quotient attached to it.
It's not of, yeah, I guess, but that's not the biggest. It goes by what my experience has been and the brand value itself.
Yeah, but you know, let's move away from Apple because we know Apple is a cult brand, right? So let's just talk about something not so cultish. For instance.
Like for example, if I was shopping for clothing and I was at Westside, I've had a good experience with Westside since I was 7 or 8. So, which is why I would keep going back to it.
Okay. And I'm going to have Kamal Basu from Volkswagen come on board and ask us his question. Kamal, over to you.
To the Centennials, there's a lot being said today about a growing, emerging India with a very, very bright future, especially since the last 15, 16 months. So what is it that they envisage or what they see about India 10 years from today?
I think it's a relatively scary vision, really, that I have of India 10 years from today. I do feel on a certain level that how America had their real estate price bubble, that India will have like an app bubble.
Yeah,
you know
with
what I'm
Modi also.
Yes,
pushing
exactly.
all the
Because
startups.
there's a lot of there are so many.
You mean the startup bubble?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because there are so many apps and especially apps and startups that are no
Sprouting.
longer worth what they want
Claim.
to be.
Yeah,
exactly.
sure.
So in that respect, I think we will slump to an extent, but it may be 4 years from today, 6 years from today. I'm
Right.
yeah.
Let's go on to a really interesting question, and this comes from the Pepsi CMO, Vipul Prakash.
I know all of you keep a lot of apps on your smartphone, right? So if you were asked to delete all the apps on your smartphone except 2, which are the 2 that you would retain?
I'd keep WhatsApp, and I'd keep my sport app.
You?
WhatsApp and Twitter.
You?
WhatsApp and 9gag.
What's that?
So basically 9gag is a website where it's all across the world, and basically people make memes or they put up pictures that have happened in the, funny things. So it's basically a website of memes, and it's also an app. It's amazing.
It's funny content online.
Yeah, it's funny content. online.
Essentially, that's its selling point?
It's a public platform for funny content.
Only?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay.
Mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd keep WhatsApp and Instagram.
Let's move on. We have Aditya Swami from Flipkart who has an interesting question. Aditya, over to you.
I know for sure that you guys are one of the most sorted generations of our time. And my question to you is, if you had to respond positively to a brand message, are you more likely to do so by seeing a great ad or by seeing that brand message kind of embedded in great content?
Content, definitely.
Content?
Yes.
What about you?
I'd say content.
You?
Content, only content. Yeah.
Okay. So, very quickly tell me the worst ad you've seen in recent times.
I remember one, which was for JP Cement, where they say JP Cement and then this girl from the beach walks up in like a red swimsuit, and it didn't make sense at all. And it's like so irritating.
Fair enough. What about you?
I'd say most of the perfume ads, I don't get it.
Oh, that you spray something and women will swarm
Trust
to
me,
you.
I tried. The women don't flock. It doesn't happen. Might as well try something new. I mean, I haven't seen a perfume ad which doesn't have women flocking the man. I honestly haven't.
So you tried, tested, and it's failed.
Yeah, it is failed.
Okay. This has been so much fun. And with that, we bring the curtains down on this special episode. I hope you've enjoyed watching it as much as I've enjoyed participating in this rather insightful discussion. Do let us know what you thought of the show. Write to us at brandequity@etnow.tv, or alternatively, log on to our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/brandequity, or tweet to us at Brand Equity Live. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Until then, thanks for watching.